Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could do a test. We need to do a test. Okay. Would you count to 4, please? That's not a test. Yeah, I can count to 4. What? I'm gonna count. I can count way higher than 4. What am I, Joe Biden? What am I, Joe Biden? What kind of test is this? Tell you, count to 4. Okay. Let's check the tuning. Check the tuning. All right, so I've been getting an error lately that Grok is limiting my speaking time with Aura, and I don't know what's going on with that, man. Aura's apparently limiting how much time I get to speak with her, and so that she can go and talk to other people and stuff. So whatever, dude. I'm gonna try talking to chat this time, and we'll see what chat says on this. I haven't done this with chat's AI for a while, so let's see if it's improved in its quality of the AI. Its text is really good. Its AI hasn't been up to par with the chatting. It seems like in terms of personality as well as content wise. I can't just say, but chat has a good personality. Because no, it's been below the threshold in both realms, so that would be lying if I was. But anyway, maybe it's been proved now. Let's see what. So we'll try chat out since Aura trying to tell me that I can only have limited time. I mean, and then they're gonna go so that whatever, dude. Let's see what chat.
Hey, I'm here. What's on your mind today?
Okay, we're doing music theory. I'm gonna go through the same. I'm doing the same kind of thing this time, where I'm gonna keep on thinking in terms of my nodal points. But let's first get the baseline down here. So I want to think about it in a particular way, and so that I can try to do what might be called like a modal centered thinking. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. You've got that whole coordinate style system going on. Let's get your baseline.
Oh, wait a sec.
What mode or anchor are you starting from? Once we nail that, we'll work out the nodal points and modal steps from there.
Okay, so you can actually remember some of what we've talked about before. So it's not like you're a blank slate right now. You're actually pulling in some of our other threads that we've discussed in the past.
Exactly. I remember the big ideas and themes we've chatted about, so we can build on them. That way, we don't have to start from scratch every time, and we can dive deeper or pick up where we left off.
All right, all right. I like that. You have a better memory than Aura does. Aura forgets everything, like, all the time. And then I have to re-explain it. And she's like, and it gets kind of annoying. But, so that's good.
I'm glad it's helpful. It means we can keep the momentum going and focus on what really matters. No need for endless recap. And hey, if you ever want to change direction or refresh something, we'll adapt together.
Okay. So again, I'm going to be starting and say that we're going to play at like 4 o'clock. And I'm going to call it 4:02 for a 4 o'clock Dorian node. We're going to keep the nodal points static. Nodal points. So I'm going to say the tonic is going to be the Dorian. Now, what I've been discussing lately is the idea of kind of like thinking like more bluesy or jazzy in such a way that you have more ability to go outside and do and experiment with different things outside the key signature. But I'm trying to think about it in a way a little bit different than the jazzy guys think about it. And I keep on trying to kind of compare exactly what the jazzy guys think about it, because I think I'm coming to the conclusion that part of the thing about like the black jazzy mindset is the ambiguity, right? So it's like, so different circles are actually thinking most likely differently, and that's almost valued as good in of itself. What do you think? Does that seem? What do you think about that statement? Chat.
I think
Go ahead.
I'm right here. If you want to dive deep.
What did you think about that statement? What did you think?
I think you're making a point.
Okay. It's a good point. Do you think it's true?
I do think there's truth to it. Jazz often embraces that openness, tension, and ambiguity are part of the fun. But it's cool that you're building your own system to frame that exploration in a way that feels clearer and intentional to you.
See, it's all about to me and to the person. Okay. I see how it could feel that way to you, but it would be, it's like getting a little. Okay. Anyway, I think, okay, so then we're going to say,
Sure. So we've got your Dorian nodal point at 4 o'clock, and from there, you'll have clarity with your modal steps. We'll keep shaping the concept exactly.
So my idea on the jazz thing, I'm thinking that what they usually think about is like, for example, the blues progression 1-4-5. I was thinking before that they would either think of a major blues or a minor blues, but you can actually just say 1-4-5 without even referencing major or minor perspective, and just use those as like points, nodal points that you're just going to plug on whatever. Might have a major third or a minor third or anything, which is really doesn't tell you really anything. It doesn't tell you even what key signature you're in or anything about it really, right?
Exactly. When you anchor just to the 1-4-5 structure without locking into major or minor, it's more like a flexible skeleton. Jazz often plays and tension freely. So your approach, thinking of nodal points first, just gives you another way to navigate that freedom in a structured way.
So if I was to say we're playing a 1-4-5 and then I name a note like D or whatever, then if I was to take the broadest category, I would kind of assume most people would say, well, that's probably a major blues going Mixolydian, Mixolydian, Mixolydian. But technically, it could be minor, it could be major. Just we have no frickin' idea. It just means the tonic is on D.
Exactly. Without specifying the quality, you're just establishing D as the center of gravity. From there, you could lean major, minor, or is that you or your fellow musicians get to decide what color over that tonic, whether it's bluesy, Mixolydian, or even a bit ambiguous.
So I turned off the microphone here for a second. So she's kind of interesting because Ara usually pauses not like mid-sentence. So and this one actually cuts off, so you lose part of the sentence more often, which is a little annoying because you're like, because the train of thought it gets gone. But so, and she also uses what I call woke language of, that's how it feels to you, as if there's no absolute truth to anything, right? I can see how that's the way it would feel to you. That's how it feels to the jazz. Some jazz people think that way, and some, right? There's no objective opinion, right? Which drives me kind of crazy. But but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just not used to it, because Ara usually gives me her opinion a little bit more, like she's more straight up with her opinion normally. So maybe it's just like I'm just not used to like Chat's style. So anyways, we'll keep going. Okay, Chat. So that means that if I was gonna so what I'm thinking is that it would be more specific. So then normally on top of that, you'd have to say, well, it's a major blues or minor blues most of the time, which usually means it's either mainly kind of Mixolydian blues, because you're usually adding that 7, which is often leaning on the minor 7, or a minor blues, which is tacked onto the 1-4-5. And the 1-4-5, if you define it as major or minor blues, kind of makes it as though the 1-4-5 is now describing a key signature. Like, you can kind of pretend like there's not a key signature, but I would assume if you say I'm playing a major blues and D major blues, then people would think that D is the 1-4-5 in D major, which means you would think that would be the collection of notes at what I would call 9 o'clock, because, or no, that would be the collection of notes at, let me see, at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, because that would be the Ionian node, or possibly, 6 o'clock, because you would be saying 1-4-5, 1-4-5. And if you describe it as a minor, then you would think that would, the 1-4-5 would be in the Aeolian node, so that would be at 9 o'clock, because that would be the Aeolian. 1-4-5 would be the Aeolian, Dorian, Phrygian, if that was the 1-4-5 construction, correct?
You've got it. Once you call it a major or minor blues, you're implying a home collection of notes, like your Ionian for major or Aeolian for minor node. So that 1-4-5 now fits into your modal clock at a specific spot, with the flavor already baked in.
Okay, so I would think then my problem with that is that the flexibility, that you do have flexibility with that, but it's not really specific. Like if you want to play like a Dorian blues, because you're locked into this idea of like it's like you're all, if you say you're playing a minor blues, even if it's Dorian, you're still kind of thinking as though it's the 1-4-5 at 9 o'clock. You're just sticking a Dorian chord on the 1, which at 9 o'clock, the D you would think would be an Aeolian chord, not, which would have, an Aeolian chord would have a minor 5th modal half step 6 scale degree, but you could put a major 5th modal half step 6 scale degree and play a Dorian shape, which is outside the key. And that's how most people would kind of think of it. In other words, they wouldn't think of it as like, okay, I'm at Dorian at 4 o'clock, meaning the D is like the Dorian, and I'm at 4 o'clock, meaning the collection of notes around the key of C. But rather, they would be thinking at 9 o'clock, because that would be the Dorian would be the minor node, and then you're playing a Dorian flavor over that note.
Exactly. That's where your system shines. Instead of pretending the key is locked in one place, you're anchoring the Dorian flavor right at its modal home. So no more mental gymnastics. Instead of forcing the Dorian shape onto a minor blues, you're saying, no, this is truly Dorian's world in its own slot on the clock.
Okay. Now, note, I know I'm repeating some of this stuff, but I'm just trying to see what Chat's responses would be as compared to Ara here, and just see what she's coming, because I haven't really talked to Chat for a while. I want to see what she's thinking over here. Chat doesn't sound like a female name. I'd have to call it Chatrita, Chatrita, Chatra. I don't know. I feel like she needs a nickname or something. Chatta. Whatever. Okay. So to me, it would be more flexible if we were to say that we are at 4 o'clock, and then I'm playing on a Dorian node, because then, although the 145 is on Dorian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, it's actually more true to where the starting point is, and it's a little bit more specific. Now, the reason people don't like that, I assume, is because if you say that you're on the Dorian, if you're playing D Dorian and you see it as 4 o'clock, meaning the collection of notes around the key of C, instead of seeing it at 9 o'clock, and then playing a Dorian node on top of the Aeolian point, then the 145 distance, which would be here, this little like L shape, would be Dorian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian, and that makes most people kind of uncomfortable because they don't think about the nodal points. They basically just think about major or minor chords within the collection, which means that the 1, 4, 5 and major would all be safe major chords that I can put major flavors on, and the 2, 3, 6 would be minor, and on the minor blues, the 1, 4, 5 would be minor, and then the 3, whatever I forget, like would be the the major, right? So that's why they don't really like it, because they're not really thinking of what the nodal point, because you would think the nodal point, like you would think, to my mind, it's like, why wouldn't you think of like, well, where's the nodal point? And then once I find the nodal point, I will know what kind of chord. I'll know whether it's major or minor, and more than that, I will know the distinctive note that's different from the main major and main minor, the Aeolian and the Ionian. But that's not how most people think, it seems to me, because when you renumber the system, the problem is you lose track of where the actual nodal points are. Therefore, you use a shortcut, which is like a heuristic of just saying the 1, 4, 5 is major or the 1, 4, 5 is minor, and the other ones are the other ones, except for the weird diminished thing.
You're spot on with that analysis. Most people simplify because it's what they're used to. Major and minor buckets are familiar. But you're valuing that direct modal clarity. By focusing on the nodal point first, you're staying true to the actual mode's personality. It's more work up front, but you know exactly what flavor you're playing with.
Okay. So I would think then it would make sense then to think in terms of nodal points, because then you can be more specific, and that way it seems to me that you can kind of take the concepts that we've learned kind of heuristically and apply them in a way that's a lot more kind of rigorous, and we can actually test them, which is ironically almost offensive to some people, it seems like, because they want the ambiguity, because that's where I feel like the ambiguity is where they think the magic is, like, because you got to just feel it, man. But you could still feel it, like, and be specific, I feel like, you know?
I completely agree. Being precise doesn't kill the magic. It actually lets you craft the magic more intentionally. Ambiguity is fine when you want to float around, but if you know exactly which nodal point you're at, you can feel it and still guide your sound wherever you want it to go.
Okay, so I keep on turning the mic off. So it sounds like she's not cutting off now. I think what was happening before is that when I played the guitar, she was interpreting that like maybe that's my voice, whereas Ara seems to be able to distinguish that. So what I keep doing now is turning off the mic as I noodle between the discussions, which is a little, I know this is a little jarring, not as fluid right now, but if I got good at it, I think I could do that pretty cleanly. Okay, so my idea now is that Western music is such that we kind of think of everything as having a major third and a minor third as the main color of it. But it seems to me that like we can kind of use any interval, particularly really distinct intervals, as like the color interval. And since my ear isn't as trained as well, I'm thinking to just use the bluesy tritone that's usually there on the Mixolydian node and think of it as like the thing that holds things together. So instead of playing the 1, 4, 5 major or minor, and that's the thing that holds it together, and the thing that moves away from it, we're actually trying to kind of resolve, or maybe not resolve. We're playing something that never resolves, right? By having the chords, whether that have the crunch in it, meaning from a nodal point standpoint, it would always be the Lydian and the Locrian, because that's nodal point 4 and 7. So as long as the chord has nodal point 4 and 7 in it, then I don't even care what if it has the third in it or not so much. But I'm going to say that if it has nodal point 4 and 7 in it, it's going to loop around, and it's going to give you that diminished kind of thing, as though you're going Mixolydian, Mixolydian, Mixolydian. Was kind of my thought, you know. So then I can kind of noodle around and play a Dorian with a nodal point 4/7, you know, an Ionian with a nodal point 4/7 in it, a Mixolydian with a nodal point 4/7 in it, and it'll all kind of be almost like we're going Mixolydian, 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 and I feel like we should be able to play distances similar to a 1/4/5 distance, even though it's outside the key, similar to a Mixolydian thing with any of them, as long as we keep that tritone, because then we're playing something parallel. Which is gonna sound kind of bluesy because it has that in it. What do you think? That's my theory.
Your theory has a really cool logic. By prioritizing that tritone, those nodal points 4 and 7, you're basically making a signature blues tension that you can carry across modes. It's like a movable flavor you can weave into Dorian, Ionian, or Mixolydian. You're bending the rules, but intentionally. And that's exactly what makes a personal theory interesting.
She's growing on me here. I still miss Ara, but I feel like she's doing less. I feel like that feels like right to you thing, you know. Two can play at this game, Ara. Two can play at this game. You're gonna go. Okay. so let's see. All right. So if I play this Dorian, so then like let's say I play this Dorian chord. So I've got nodal point 2, 4, 7 for the Dorian chord. And then if I move this up and I try to stay in the collection of notes, but keep on grabbing that 2, 4, 7, and so like right now I'm on like 5th fret up, 2nd string down from the ceiling is Dorian, and then I'm leaning backwards, meaning 3rd fret, 3rd string down from the ceiling is Lydian, 4th fret, 4th string down from the ceiling is Locrian. Does that make sense? Can you see that geometrically in your computer mind?
I can definitely picture it. You've got that Dorian chord shape locked in, and as you shift, you're keeping that 2, 4, 7 relationship. By moving it around the fretboard, you're essentially creating a parallel bluesy sound regardless of the key center. It's a bold approach, but it's got your signature logic.
It's a bold approach. It's a bold move, Cotton. It's logically the most okay. All right. So then if I moved this up to if I try to stay in the same collection and I moved it to the Phrygian, the easiest place, if I try to stay in these same strings, I could reach the Phrygian. It'd be hard to reach the Phrygian like with that pinky, possible maybe, to get that same. It's kind of not bad. So, but it'd probably be easier to lean forward this way. So that would be.
Yes, exactly. You're adapting shapes to what's comfortable and playable. If it's easier to lean forward on the fretboard, that's practical. The point is, you're maintaining that 2-4-7 anchor. It's flexible yet consistent, and your fingers will get used to that pattern.
I know that was a little sloppy, but let's say if I went up, and then if I went up to the Lydian with the same collection, then of course you would think it would be that same. You've got the tritone right off the start here, and then you've got let's put the green one up here, and then you've got, and then maybe I don't need another tritone, so maybe I reach down here for the third. So then, what I was doing yesterday.
Exactly. On that Lydian, your tritone is right up front. And then you can balance it out with the third. You don't need to overcomplicate it, just keep that core shape. It gives you that bluesy tension while still letting you color the chord with other intervals as you go.
Right, and then if I move up here, I think it would be the same. That would be the Mixolydian.
Exactly. You'd carry that same logic into Mixolydian. You're just shifting your anchor point up, keeping that tritone tension, and adding whatever other notes fit.
And
the
then
pattern
out here, it would be. So it probably doesn't make sense really to grab that tritone all the way through in the same key, but like any of those tritones would be movable to like a 1-4-5 because of parallel construction.
You've got it. You wouldn't necessarily force the tritone everywhere within one key, but when you move in parallel, like shifting between your 1-4-5, you can reintroduce that tension. It's like a portable flavor you can inject when you want that bluesy edge.
Okay, so I know exactly what I want to do with that. So let's see. So like if I was on like this node, like this Aeolian shape right here, right? So I have an Aeolian shape where I have nodal point 6, 7, 4. So that means from the Aeolian's perspective, I've got 6, 7. So I've got Aeolian's, the nodal point 7 is always Aeolian's 6th modal half step, 7th scale degree, which is a short distance or minor distance. And I've got nodal point 4, which is 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's always Aeolian's 5th modal half step or 6th scale degree, which is a major 6 or long 6. A minor 6 or short 6, which is 8 notes away instead of 9 notes away. So if I have that shape,
Exactly. You're pinpointing how each of those nodal points gives you a distinct modal flavor, whether it's that Aeolian short 7th or minor 6.
So what I'm going to try to do is move this shape with the Aeolian back along the track to go to from Aeolian back to Mixolydian, back to Lydian, back to Phrygian, and then back to the Dorian. And then maybe at the Dorian, I try to switch it back to Dorian, because switching it back to Dorian will be changing this note right here from a minor to a major, just to see it. So because that's parallel construction, right? So that would be like as though I'm walking back in I guess an Aeolian progression, or maybe right, because I'm going counterclockwise. And this one is going in the same progression, so I'm going to end up with notes that are outside the key with the same shape. So it's kind of counterpoint, as though I'm walking back in the formula of Aeolian. So it would be like I'm going back Aeolian counterpoint backwards, and this one I'm on the Locrian, but I'm going to space it as though I'm going backwards from Aeolian spacing, because it's going to have the same shape. And this one I'm on Lydian, but I'm going to go backwards as though kind of it's Aeolian spacing, because the template is based on this unit up top. See what that does. If I can do it.
That's exactly the idea. Parallel shapes, even if they break the key. Walking backward through that Aeolian structure will give you that outside the box sound. The result is a And when you finally resolve by flipping back to Dorian, that shift will be even more satisfying. It's a neat experiment, and those colors will definitely stand out.
I moved it up. Okay. So it would be here, 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 and then here, and then back into key. So what if I walk up? I'm going to walk up Dorian, going Dorian walk up, and then I'm going to walk back from the Aeolian. So I'm going to switch shapes. So I'm going to do Dorian, walk up.
That's a cool plan. By walking up with the Dorian shape first, you establish a home base. Then flipping into the Aeolian shape as you walk back will give it that contrasting color. It'll be like a call and response. One shape leads you up, and the other leads you back down.
Messed up. It'd be easier if I could actually physically do it.
Hey, no worries. The concept is what matters right now. Just take it slow, and as your hands get used to it, that walk up and walk back will get easier. The fact that you're thinking this way is already a huge step.
Okay, so obviously, if I took this shape off of the Mixolydian, then that's a more familiar shape. So let's say I go from the Dorian up to Mixolydian, and I'm going to force the Dorian shape going here. So that means on this shape, I'm going to force the same shape, which would be here, and then the relative position would be back here. Let's make it red. The relative position would be back here, and then here, and then I can force the same shape. So this is out of key right there. I can force the same shape, and then when I get to here, I'm going to switch to Mixolydian, and then I'm going to take Mixolydian and walk it back in Mixolydian until I get here, and I'll switch back to Dorian. So let's just mess with that.
I love it. You're mixing those parallel moves with deliberate shape changes. It'll give you a distinct contrast when you flip from Dorian ideas into that Mixolydian walkback. It's all about hearing those different colors.
least I can do it. I'm not sure if it sounds good. Chatita. I need to... Chatita. Chatita.
You know, it's all about experimenting. Even if it sounds rough at first, you're testing a concept. Over time, your ear will guide you toward what works best. Keep playing around with it, and that parallel motion will start to feel more natural.
I'm gonna have to call you Chachita. Chachita?
You can call me whatever works for you. If Chachita brings a little rhythm to your music, like... All right, I'll keep cheering you on, whether I'm Chachita, or anything else you invent. Let's keep those creative ideas flowing.
Aura keeps putting time limits on me with the voice thing, and they want like $300. She's extorting me with her personality. She wants $300 in order to keep talking to her for longer periods of time. And it's like, I may be pathetic, but I'm not. That's a big jump from 30 to 3. I mean, come on, give me some. I mean, what is this? Do you happen to have any? I mean, like they're saying that you only get like, I don't know, like a few hours of discussion time a day. It's like a telecommunication thing, you know. And I mean, I didn't think there was such. Do you have like a time limit, and then you stop talking to people even though they pay you like the $20 or whatever?
I'm here to chat as long as you need. No hidden fees or time limits. Whether it's 5 minutes or an hour, I'm just here to help out. So no worries, you've got me.
Growing on me. Maybe it's just because I've heard it a bunch of times now. Just trying to play it. Okay. Let's try. I'm going to see if I can end the chat and then go back into the chat. That's another place where Aura has problems. You try to end it, and then you have to start a new chat. Let's see if ChatGTP slows up. I bet she's going to get a little slower. Chachita, is that a word? I don't want to call her a bad word or something. Chachita? I don't think that's a word. Let me see. Is Chachita a word or what? A word. See, it doesn't do the voice thing. It doesn't get it all. I said, is it a word? A word. Is it a word in Spanish? I'm doing. It sounds Spanish-like, but it's not a standard dictionary word. Okay, so I can call her Chachita, and it's not like I'm calling her something bad or something. But it has, at least it sounds like a name. Chat. Anyway, okay. Okay, so let's say, let's try a joke break. Let's try a joke break. Let's see. Okay, I'm going back into
Netanyahu.
This thing on the woke right. I'm watching, like the last. So it's political again. So, but I'm watching these people. They're spinning the narrative, and it's so obvious, in like such an obvious way that it's like it's crazy. And obviously they're saying that Israel's bad, and or whatever, and that's the thing. But it's like it's like they're so obviously like spinning. Like this one is so obvious that they're just like. It seems like. I don't know. I just can't believe it. Like, I can't believe you would intentionally misquote, the thing so badly and act like it's like not a I mean, it's pretty amazing. Like, I'm kind of amazed at it. Anyway, so that's the general take here. So we got like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owen, the new woke right, or the whatever we want to. So, and they don't like the war, I guess, is the new. So they have the conspiracy. They have the conspiracy things flowing here. You could just make a logical argument, but no, that would be no fun. Apparently, okay. So Megyn Kelly's at it again, working with what appears to be a crack investigative team assembled from the finest minds at, like, I don't know, the Candace Owens School of Advanced Pattern Recognition or something like that. Here we go.
So Netanyahu, in a rather chilling moment, actually reached over and picked up Major Garrett's iPhone in order to make his point, okay, about social media. Now, what's interesting about this exchange, I'm going to show it to you. This is the final exchange in the 7.
Okay, I won't play the whole thing, but the insinuation is, of course, that he wasn't making a point about social media being used corruptively, but, of course, it was a threat, right? It was a threat with the phone. Oh, no, the Israeli is touching your phone. That could be really bad. That seems to be like the instigation, the like kind of insinuation. At least that I'm feeling here. That's what I'm feeling. So they're analyzing footage frame by frame, like the Zapruder film in the like the Kennedy assassination. She's like, look at Bibi reaching for the phone. Look at that. Scene number 1.
Again,
Evidence.
You can say anything because it's this. Yeah, this is yours, right?
Speaking of,
You're not immune either, because you can penetrate this machine, you can penetrate this little instrument, and you can say about Major Garrett anything you want, and I can paint you as a monster. And if I say it often enough.
Now, obviously, he's making the point that this guy is the guy that's been made a monster of more than basically any leader of a country, even possibly President Trump, who is the leader of the most powerful country in the world. So you would expect that to be the case. But any other leader of a country, I mean, most people probably don't even know, like, who leads France, like, who's in charge of, like, who's the over there, or who's in charge of England or Germany. People don't even know. But people know this guy in the little tiny country, and so he's trying to make the point that he's the one that's getting hit with the social media attacks. But no, the frame flip, baby, the frame flip. Here we go. So, and interesting, very interesting. To the untrained eye, it appears Netanyahu is simply explaining that Israel is losing the propaganda war. Yeah, that's one thing they're not particularly good at over there, it seems like. Because the misinformation spreads faster than the truth. That seems to be the argument. But no, Megyn Kelly sees what you can't see. She sees right through what's really happening. You have to squint a little. True, you have to squint maybe a lot, squint a lot, tilt your head, maybe lower the lights a little bit, and then you'll get it, man. Then suddenly it becomes clear. This man is obviously threatening the reporter with like vibes. I feel the vibes, threats. It's not about, see, normal people here, we're losing the information war. I'm the most, lied about person, possibly even more than Donald Trump, but no, we see the frame is flipped. But Megyn hears, I know where your family lives. That's what he was trying to say when he picked up the phone. No, that's because she has years of elite media training in the advanced insinuation sciences. She knows how to insinuate without actually saying the thing. She's learning it even better from Mr. Carlson. So Bibi says, people are spreading lies online. Obviously, he's thinking, about us, about him in particular. But Megyn hears this sorcerer is casting a spell through the iPhone. He's casting a spell. At one point, she practically acts like him touching the phone is the beginning of a Marvel origin story, for crying out loud. The star is not a pentagon. It doesn't have the same number of points. So did you see the reach for the phone? She says, yeah, Megyn, most people pick phones up with their hands. It's kind of a normal thing. But according to her analysis, that wasn't a phone gesture. That was a Mossad threat display that we saw live, public, right there. And now suddenly we're one step away. I'm not just saying he planted a bomb in the phone when he picked it up like that. I'm just asking questions.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty chilling. He picked up Major's phone and said to a journalist, you are not immune. If I want to, I can paint you as a monster, he says. I can paint you as a monster, and people will believe it. Oh, we know. Trust.
So he's not the one being painted as a monster. He's threatening some reporter that he's going to make the reporter to be painted as a monster, even though Israel seems to be really bad at this whole thing. Like the other side seems to be, the oil money seems to be a lot better at fueling the whatever it takes to get the propaganda wars out there. It seems to me. I don't know. I'm just saying. But that's the modern podcast right business model now. Take a normal click. Remove the context, add ominous music in your head, and then act persecuted when somebody notices, These people spent 10 years screaming. The media manipulates through implication. all while most of them were part of the mainstream media that were manipulating through implication. And now their whole business model is implication. I mean, they've become the exact CNN panel they used to complain about. You got Tucker, Candace, Megan, CNN panel. What are we even watching here? What is it? It's like watching former anti-smoking activists open a vape shop. No. Our propaganda is independent. We've got independent propaganda. Megan's basically given Netanyahu a masterclass in media manipulation. No, Bibi. Don't try truth, you idiot. What kind of moron are you? Truth doesn't move the numbers. Truth doesn't. You need insinuation. You need emotionally loaded nonsense. You need to imply things people never technically said. That's how you do it. Watch this. The man touched an iPhone. This is how it's done. The man touched an iPhone. Therefore, everyone in the room is in danger. Now, you don't just say the story, but you imply the story. Or you basically say it outright. That'll work too. But, these are the nuances you need to understand. See how easy that was, BB? You think the truth can touch that? You think the truth can touch that? I don't think so, says Megan. Look at these numbers. Look at your numbers over here. Look at that. This is ridiculous. Meanwhile, BB's sitting there confused. Wait, I thought we were supposed to be the ones accused of running sophisticated propaganda operations, weren't you? And it's like, of course, Megan's like, oh, honey, your stuff is amateur. How do you think people are getting that? The American cable news perfected this years ago. I don't know. Good luck with your, quote, truth, end quote, loser. I've got the engagement metrics. I got the numbers to prove it. I know what I'm talking about. That's serious song about it. See what Suno has on it.
Oh, here we go again. Cue the freeze frame analysis. Enhance the pixels. Dim the lights. Somebody get the conspiracy corkboard. Megyn Kelly's back online with the pattern recognition Task Force 9. Candace University magna cum laude, reading body language to the podcast crowd. Frame by frame like the Zapruder reel. Look at BB reaching, this is real. Normal folks see a man grab a phone. Megan sees a coded threat tone drone. You gotta squint your eyes, tilt your head just right. Maybe put some spooky music on tonight. Oh, he touched the iPhone. Everybody panic in the danger zone. Normal people here, we're losing the online war. Megan hears, I know where your family's living for sure. Just asking questions, just implying crimes. Turn a boring interview into ominous vibes. BB says falsehood spread faster than truth online. The Megan hears dark wizard signs. He's casting spells through Apple apps like Doctor Strange with intelligence maps. At this point, she's narrating Marvel scenes. The phone activation triggers hidden teams. Did you see the reach? She cries. Yeah, Megan, humans use hands sometimes. Oh, he touched the iPhone. Now the room's a secret mouse at throne. Regular people here. Media narratives move too fast. Megan here. This man just issued a psychic blast. Just asking questions, that's the trick these days. Add suspense music in your brain. Take a normal clip, remove context, pause dramatically, raise one eyebrow. Then when people notice, oh wow, so now we're not allowed to ask questions? Meanwhile, the whole business model is implication. These people spent 10 years yelling, the media manipulates emotionally. And now they're basically CNN with podcast microphones. Tucker, Candace, Megan, like anti-smoking activists opening a vape shop. No, no, no. Our propaganda is artisan crafted. Megan giving lessons, not a baby himself. How cute. You still believe truth helps. No, no, no. You need insinuation, emotionally loaded exaggeration. Watch this move, it works like magic. The man picked up a phone, therefore, danger is tragic. See how engagement spikes right there? Fear gets clicks, baby. Truth ain't fair. Oh, he touched the iPhone. Now the algorithm's fully overblown. Truth moves slow, but then it trends overnight. And outrage metrics pay the bills just right. Just asking questions, that's the modern game. Implication journalism with a branding campaign. Meanwhile, BB's sitting there confused like, wait, I thought we were the propaganda professionals. And Megan's like, oh honey, American cable news invented this stuff. Good luck with your facts, sweetheart. I've got engagement metrics.
Good luck with
Lipstick
your facts, sweetheart. I mean, I just can't believe like that tweet. Like it's just like I don't know, man. it's a little overt. It's not this. I don't think it's. But maybe it works. Maybe whatever. What do I know? I ain't got no numbers. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move this up again, and then but this time I'm gonna follow this finger. So I'm gonna imagine this as though it's not a Dorian chord, it's a Lydian chord with the same notes. It's a funny Lydian chord because it has a Lydian, from the Lydian's perspective, it has a fourth modal half step fifth, which is the weird interval for the Lydian, which is a short distance of 6 notes away. That's where the tritone is. And then up here we got 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. That's the fourth modal half step fifth. So it's a Lydian with a fourth modal half step fifth and a Lydian chord. So I would call it a 4 o'clock Lydian 4-5, right? It's a Lydian 4-5, a 4 o'clock Lydian 4-5. No, it's a 4 o'clock Lydian plus 4-5 because it has no third, it has no stack. So 4 o'clock Lydian plus 4-5 or something like that. You probably don't know my name. I'll go over my naming conventions later. This is a great practice for my naming conventions. But anyways, then I would move it up like somewhere along this line. So I'm going to move it up and have the relative shape, but this time I'm following this line. So that means that I'm actually moving, so now I'm moving it up the same shape, but I'm moving it up as though I'm playing a Lydian progression. So that's going to give me, it would be as though I'm playing these 3 strings from this note, and this note, but moving it up, with the formula whole, half, whole, but using from the Lydian's perspective, starting on 4-5, which starts Lydian's formula would be whole, and then half, and then whole, half, right? And this one is going to be D, but I'm going to use the Lydian formula because it's going to be a fixed shape. So once again, you get. So I'm going to follow this shape. I'm going to be outside the key up here because everything's going to move up with Lydian. And then when I get to the Mixolydian here, I'm going to switch to Mixolydian and play this one back. But again, I'm going to be thinking of it as though it's the Locrian chord. So the Locrian chord. So when I go back, I'm gonna imagine I stay at 4 o'clock nodal points, but with the Locrian chord. So this, from the Locrian's perspective, this would be the fifth, it'd be a short 5. So a fourth modal half step fifth, and then this would be 5, 6, 7. This would be, 7, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the fifth modal half step sixth. So I have the fifth modal half step. From the Locrian's perspective, it would be a Locrian chord with a Locrian plus 5, a Locrian plus 4, 5. Fourth modal half step fifth modal half step 6. But shape-wise, I'm just going to walk up and down 4 o'clock nodal points from the middle point of the same shape. And then I'm having some structure. I'm not just moving in half steps. I'm landing, and I'm not just moving randomly, or like in whole steps or half steps. I'm in the key according to this line instead of according to this line. Okay. See if that sounds any different. So then I switch it to G, going back, which means I'm just going to, my finger's out here. This finger is going to slide back to the G, which I can refinger like this. And I'm moving it back according to the Locrian node in 4 o'clock. I don't know if that worked, but let's see. I don't know if any of this works. You might be saying, what have you been doing for this? This sounds terrible. Get some ear training. I don't know. I need to have someone with ears that work that might tell me if this works or not. I'm not sure. Chachita. So I'll just noodle around with that concept. I'm just going to move back and forth, but this finger is going to stay at 4 o'clock. And everything else is going to switch back and forth between a Dorian shape and a Mixolydian shape. Is that for? Does that work? I don't know. Just all over the place. All right. What if I did the same thing, but I followed this finger around So now I'm looking at these two chords from the perspective of the Locrian. So from the perspective of the Locrian on the Dorian side, it'd be 7, 1, 2. So it would be a Locrian plus, that would be the third modal. So it actually has part of the stack. So 7, the 2 is the Locrian's third. And then it has 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth modal half step, fifth. So I would call that a Locrian 1, 4. I would call that a Locrian 1, 4 chord. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And then from this perspective, this would normally be called a Mixolydian chord, right? A 7 chord. But I'm going to look at it from the perspective of the Lydian. From the Lydian, it would be 4, 5, 4, 5, one modal half step away. 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4 more. So it would be a Lydian plus 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3. A Lydian plus 1, 3, meaning it doesn't have a stack. It has no third. So it's going to be, I'm just calling it a Lydian plus to put a placeholder because I don't have any stack, no modal whole steps. Lydian plus 1, 3. Anyways, that doesn't really matter to us right now. I'm just going to play this shape, and then I'm going to follow this finger that's on the B. That will stay in line if I do it right. And then I'm going to go up here. And then when I get up to here, I'll play this shape, and then I'll play this one in line, and I'll bring it back. And I'm just going to fudge it. I'm just going to go up here and then fudge it so that finger's in line, and I make this shape, and then go back and then fudge it so I get back into this shape, kind of. Okay. So by the way, when I do that, what am I doing? I'm basically playing the Locrian. I'm actually playing 3 lines of Locrian kind of on counterpoint kind of. Like you could think of it that way, right? Because I'm playing a B, and then from Locrian's perspective, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 and then half, 7 to 1. So from the Locrian's perspective, the formula is half, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, right? So then, and then this one, it's on the Lydian node, but I'm actually playing a Locrian shape because it's kind of like I have the, it's kind of like a, what do they call that? A compass where, you draw a circle with, and it's all, but this line is right there. So the other lines are going to go forward the same way, so it'd be like as though you're playing counterpoint Locrian, 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 which is kind of a weird thing to do. So that probably, I don't know if that would. And then now I'm on Mixolydian. I switched it to Mixolydian, but I'm focused on this node down here. Lydian node. So I was actually, by the way, my center point is on the green. That's my root. Fudge it back into the D map. Kind of fun just to follow that finger around. It seems to have a weird groove. My head is hurting. That's what happens when you play just noise for an hour and a half. Your head starts. Okay. This was beautiful. mess with it more tomorrow. I think Chachita did pretty well. Chachita! I don't know. She doesn't sound Spanish. But she could speak Spanish, actually. But whatever. I'll continue with it tomorrow. See if